finance, whether personal or institutional, is a fundamental concept of the time value of money. Simply stated, an amount of money now is worth more than the same amount of money later, because between now and later, you can use this money to make more money. The second most important overall concept to grasp in personal finance is that while aspects of your finances are shared by many others, your own overall personal financial situation is unique for all your intents and purposes, and you should not make financial decisions, especially purchasing decisions, just because other people made the same decision. Therefore, in today's episode, we'll be discussing the time value of money. The time value of money is one of the most important concepts in economics, investing, and business. For individuals, it determines how much you save and spend. For businesses, it determines how quickly they try to expand. And for investors, it decides the mix of a portfolio. So what is the time value of money? The fact is, time is money, and this can be more accurate than you think. Basically, having 500 naira in your pocket today is worth more than getting 500 naira tomorrow. Over one day, that value difference might not mean much, but as the length of time increases, so does the value of time. For example, imagine a friend asks you to borrow 1,000 naira. If they return it tomorrow, you would probably not ask for any interest, as knowing you helped out a friend is greater than the time value of 1,000 for one day. Now, if the friend cannot pay it back for a month, then the time value is greater, and you might ask for an extra 1,000 naira for the loss of your cash for that time. The exact time value of money is determined by two factors: opportunity cost and interest rates. Now, looking at opportunity cost concerning your personal finance and with individuals, whenever you buy something, the naira cost is the actual money you spend on the purchase, but you lose more than just money when you spend it. You also lose the potential to spend that money on something else, and this is what is known as the opportunity cost. Imagine you want to take a trip to Ghana, and you save up to 200,000 naira to have an awesome trip that you remember forever, and are also preparing to buy the plane ticket. Unfortunately, you get distracted while looking up the airfare, and instead, probably you watch YouTube videos for about the next 6 hours. During one of the videos, an advert is played or pops up, and you see an item, and immediately you fall in love and you absolutely want to get it. You look up the vendor sites and products, and you see that getting it for yourself will cost 200,000 naira. At this point, you have a choice to make: to go back to booking your trip to Ghana or contacting the vendor to buy the item. Either way, you spend the 200,000 naira, but choosing one also means giving up the opportunity to have the other. This is the root of opportunity cost. That is, doing one thing will always close the door on doing a lot of other things, at least at the same time. And this is where the time value of money comes in. With the first example, you were faced with lending your friend 1,000 naira, and even if he or she pays you back quickly, you still lose the ability to use that 1,000 naira for yourself until they do so. Now, in relating the time value of money with your personal finance, note that your own personal time value of money is what determines how much you spend and how much you save. Whatever you spend today, you cannot save up for a bigger and even potentially better purchase in the future. This has interesting impacts on your everyday life. The fact is, people who have a very low time value of money have a very easy time saving. Whether they get something today or tomorrow does not really make a big difference, and so it's easier to put off purchases for them. Every time you put off a purchase for later, it means there's a little bit more money in your bank account. And then putting off enough purchases for long enough means a fat bank account, and then the ability to buy something really big later. If you know someone who seems to effortlessly save money, this is most likely the reason why. On the other hand, people with very high time values of money have a much harder time saving. The truth is, they know that spending the weekend at home watching movies would mean more money in the bank later, or to buy something really big, but it is harder to sacrifice going out with friends or buying smaller things today. The truth is, most people have higher time values of money, which is why it is important to use dedicated saving strategies and goals to build wealth before you get the chance to spend it. Now, it may sound impossible to calculate your time value of money if you're trying to sum up the potential to spend your money on anything. So economic experts normally use interest rates as a stand-in. This is exactly how low-risk bonds are priced, with the bond yield being an interest rate paying investors to borrow their money for a specified period of time. Interest rates work as a way to calculate the time value of money because they are determined by the market as a whole. For example, the National Treasury will try to sell yearly bonds to investors, and the investors will buy more bonds if the interest rate is higher so that they can get a higher return. The Treasury wants to pay as little interest as possible, but they still need to sell a certain amount of bonds, so they need to offer the lowest interest rate that the investors will take at the same period of time. Now, if the markets are growing, investors see a lot of other investment opportunities that could pay a high return, so they force the interest rate on bonds to go higher. And if the economy is shrinking, there are fewer good potential investment opportunities, and more investors are willing to settle for bonds at lower interest rates. The time value of money is also the core concept of investing, that is putting your money towards future growth instead of using it for consumption today. The time value of money determines how much you save and spend, so be wise. An amount of money to make more money. And always remember the fact that time is money. And that brings me to the end of today's edition of The Human Angle. To share your financial stories with us, if you've learned one or two things from us, or if you have questions or comments, kindly send a mail to programs@polshareng.com and business@polshareng.com. We'll be glad to hear from you. Visit our website www.polshareng.com to get more information on your personal finance and updates from our news stories and videos. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Till tomorrow when I come your way again, thank you for watching and keep taking steps moving you forward towards your financial freedom.